You ever notice how someone's character is clearly strong, but they keep calling it mid until a top player says it? That delay tells you everything. A lot of players are not waiting for proof, they're waiting for permission. As long as it stays unconfirmed, they keep an alibi. And the alibi matters because the moment they admit the strategy is strong, their losses stop being explainable. Now it points back at them. So proof becomes cover. Watch how this looks in real time. Somebody is winning with the same tool every session, same sequence, same advantage, same outcome. They're farming people with it. But when the conversation comes up, they act like they're barely surviving. It's not that good. It's overrated. It's just online. People don't know the matchup. If they lab it, it's done. They talk like they are doing charity work with a weak character. Then a respective voice confirms it. Tournament run, patch notes, a tier list, a top player says it out loud. Now the language flips overnight. Yeah, it's top tier. Everyone knows, it's obvious. Nothing changed about the tool. What changed is it became safe to admit. That safety is the point. Downplay is insurance. If they win, it proves they're skilled. If they lose, the character takes the blame. That's why logical assessments get resisted so hard. Because the moment you admit the character is strong, you lose the shield. Now, if you lose, it is on you. And this is where people get stuck because a lot of them are not actually arguing about the game, they are arguing about responsibility. That is why you will see someone shut down a clean, logical argument that is obviously correct. Not because it is wrong, because it removes their hiding place. As long as they can say, my character is not even good. Every loss stays comfortable. Every bad set stays explainable. Every mistake gets softened. Then the character gets labeled strong. Now you cannot hide. Now it is your execution, your decisions, your discipline, and how you keep your nerves. That is what people are dodging. Pay attention to how the goalpost moves when you bring up something that is working. This is how they keep the responsibility out of the room. And you will see the same thing with strategy talk. A player will refuse to call a strategy good until the crowd agrees it's good. Not because they are cautious, but because unconfirmed keeps the pressure off them. They can win and get credit. They can lose and keep an excuse. Then the crowd confirms it. Now they have to stand on their play like everyone else. So they stall. This is where standards gets used as a disguise. Because it sounds mature, it sounds like integrity, but in practice it delays commitment. It delays adaptation. The moment where you have to say, yeah, that beat me, so I'm fixing it, it delays that. And you can hear it right after a loss. A normal competitor says, I got opened up. A proof waiter says, that's not real. A normal competitor says, I need an answer. A proof waiter will say, show me proof. That sounds small, but it changes everything. Because the match is not waiting for a verdict, the match is already happening. And the longer you delay admitting what is good is the longer you delay learning how to deal with it. Now let me make the whole permission thing concrete. Patch day hits. A character can already be strong, but most players are not using tools correctly. So the results look fair on paper. The public story becomes, they are weak, because the people playing them keep saying it. Now imagine you are a developer reading feedback. You see complaints, you see low confidence, you see people insisting the character needs help. So you buff them. Not because the character was actually weak, because the community made weak sound safe and normal. Then the character becomes a real problem, and the same people rewrite the story like it came out of nowhere. This is why downplay is not harmless. It can turn a strong character into an overbuffed character. Somebody finds something that works immediately, half the player base starts calling it fake, cheap, brain dead. The other half starts losing to it for 2 weeks straight. Then a major happens, a top player uses the exact same thing on stage. Now it becomes tech, or it's smart, or it's obvious. Same tool, same outcome, same reality. The only difference is the crowd approved it. That is what people mean when they say wait for proof. They mean make it safe for me to admit. And that habit kills progress in 3 ways. First, it trains you to outsource your thinking. You stop studying the match in front of you and start studying the temperature of the room. You stop building your own read and start collecting quotes. You end up knowing what people say about the meta, but you don't know what the meta does to you. Second, it makes you late. By the time something becomes proven, the advantage is already gone. The early testers already built instincts. The early adopters already got paid. Everybody else shows up after the wave already passed and they complain they feel behind. Of course you feel behind. You joined after it was safe. Third, it makes you fragile. If you need certainty to move, every unclear situation feels unfair. Every scramble feels like nonsense. Every new layer feels random. And you start building a playstyle where you only feel confident in the parts of the game the community has already stamped. That is a slow death, because competitors have to be able to operate while things are still unclear. That is where wins come from. And the proof culture creates a personality too. You know the type. They talk like they're guarding the integrity of the game. They ask for receipts, but they never use the receipts to improve. They ask for data, but they never test the data in their play. They ask for real results, but they only accept results when those results protect their story. If the results make them look bad, the results suddenly do not count. That is not analysis, that is self-defense. And it shows up in the safest way possible. Tier list. People love tier lists for the same reason they love proof. Tier lists do two jobs. They let you claim you are smart, and they let you avoid owning what happened in your matches. You lose and the tier list becomes an explanation. You win and the tier list becomes irrelevant. That is how you can tell who is using proof as cover. Here's another version you see all the time. A player is downplaying their character while using every strong thing the character has. They will say the character is mid while playing like they are terrified the character will get nerfed. They will say the character is honest while building their entire game around the most abusive situations. They are already admitting it with their play. They just refuse to admit it with their mouth. Because the mouth creates accountability, and accountability is the part they dodge. Now zoom out for a second. This is bigger than one matchup or one patch. This is a habit. A lot of people do not like to be wrong in public. They do not want to test something and look dumb for a week. They do not want to commit to a belief and then eat it later. So they stay vague, they stay reasonable, they stay waiting. It sounds safe, it sounds smart, but it costs years. Because the game does not reward the person who had the best explanation. The game rewards the person who moved first. That is the part that hurts people's feelings. You can be correct in theory and still be late. You can be right and still lose for months because you refuse to act until everybody agreed. When you need permission before you adapt, you are protecting yourself. Self-protection always charges interest. So what do you do with this without turning into a lecture? Stop outsourcing what you believe. If something keeps winning in front of you, treat it as real until you personally disprove it. Not the internet disproved it, not a top player disproved it, you. Because a lot of the skill gap is not reactions or combos. A lot of the gap is who accepts reality early. Some people need the room to make it safe first. Other people move off what they can see and confirm for themselves. And that difference shows up everywhere. It shows up in who improves fast. It shows up in who keeps the same excuses for months. It shows up in who keeps getting hit by the same thing while still debating whether it counts. Now bring it back to the downplay again, because this is the part people act like they do not understand. Downplay keeps pressure off the player. If you admit you are playing something strong, your losses stop having a built-in excuse. So people try to keep the character mid in public as long as possible. That way, every loss still has padding. My character is not even good. That line buys comfort. Then the character gets confirmed. Now you lose and it feels personal. So they fight the confirmation. They fight the logic. They want to fight the obvious because they are fighting accountability. And the end result is always the same cycle. Lose, downplay, wait, lose again, downplay again, wait again. Then a tier list drops or a major happens and now it is confirmed. And they act like they believed it the whole time. If it keeps beating you, it's real. Deal with it. Checklist is free. Link is on the screen and in the description.